Alright guys, thank you ever so much for tuning into this Diagnostic World video. We are driving right now the brand new BMW X1. It's the F48 chassis. It's a 2-litre twin turbo diesel engine, and this particular car has 1,744 miles on the clock. So for all intents and purposes, it is a brand new car. Now that said, just because it's a brand new car doesn't mean it's perfect. I don't believe any car is perfect, and I'll always try and find a fault with it, and this car is no different. Now, it's not a witch hunt, it's not a hate campaign against this car. I've also made a video of 5 things that I love about the car, so just take the video for what it is. I don't hate the car at all, I actually really like the car. It's just I want to give you 5 things on my list that I think could be better. So we'll get into it. The first thing on the list is the seats. This is the X-Line model, and it doesn't matter what line or what car these seats are in, I would hate them. They just shouldn't be in a car. The reason I say that I hate them is because the actual part where your bum and your legs sit, it's just way too small. Not only is it way too small, but you don't get enough sort of bolstering or cushioning around the edges. So what you'll find is when you're going around corners, you easily kind of sway, and that's not what you want. And not only that, but I often find that my legs, they creep. It's like a flat cushion, so they're creeping over towards the gear stick in this car. This is an automatic, so it's not even too bad. But if I was in a manual car, I would constantly find my leg getting in the way here. So that is one thing that I absolutely hate about this car. I just don't know what BMW were thinking when they designed these seats. I know it's not a car for going on the track or anything like that, but that is by the by. It's a car which will ultimately go around a lot of corners. So the seats for me are a big no-no, and they are the first thing on my list that I absolutely hate. If you are gonna go for this car, I would seriously recommend getting a package whereby you get sport seats. Probably can't even see these seats that well, but anyway, there you go. I've said my piece on the seats. So the second thing that I hate about the BMW X1 F48 is the radio system. Now, the radio part of it is absolutely fine, but the rest of it is, to me, overcomplicated. You're seeing a lot of buttons and a lot of icons that the only way you'll find out what that icon is by simply scrolling onto it and then clicking into it, at which point you could find that it's not what you want, and then you've got to come out of the whole thing. It hasn't even picked up all of the radio stations, and it seems like there's too many depths towards each menu. There's like a sort of a round twist sort of knob down here where you have to scroll it around, but to me it's kind of out of place. It's right down there, really. It's not even in line with the armrest. It's sort of, you've got to then put your arm sort of down like that, like a claw, to get to it. So the whole radio system for me, I would say probably is overcomplicated. I understand there are a lot of features because modern day entertainment systems do have a lot of features, but I've driven a lot of brand new cars with equally as many modern day features, and are really, really simple to use. So that's what I think about the radio system. With regards to sound, it's all right. It's not offensive. It's by no means any top-end sound system, but it does what you need it to. So that's the second thing on my list. The radio system is overcomplicated. I like the display. It's got kind of like a pop-up sort of 5 or 6 inch screen. I like that. That's absolutely fine. So the third thing on my list is the fact that I think BMW interiors or BMW parts in general are just not what they used to be. The steering wheel in this car, I really like it. It's well made and it's got a good quality feel to it. However, the rest of the materials, I mean, I can touch that there and it's moving when it shouldn't be, and that's just the black sort of glossy panel. And this is in a brand new car. And it's making way too many creaking noises for me. So that's one thing. That's the third thing, sorry, that I don't like about the BMW X1 is the interior cheap plastic parts. I'm just going to navigate my way around this roundabout. Yeah, so BMW, in my book, for a good few years now, they have been steadily going downhill with regards to parts quality. Parts are just not lasting as long, if you ask me, as opposed to the way they used to last in, for example, the BMW. So your 7 Series, your E38, your 3 Series E36, possibly into E46 as well. But from E90 sort of onwards, 3 Series, that's kind of like 2006, 2007 onwards. The quality of the parts, a lot of mechanics and sort of repairers that I've spoken to say a lot of these parts are failing because they're just not built at the same quality or standard as they should be or used to be. And that theme follows through the whole interior. You just don't feel like as safe or as sort of solidly compact in this car as you would in a previous BMW. So that's the third thing on the list. The fourth thing on the list is the MPG in this car. This is, as I mentioned earlier, it's a 2-litre diesel, twin turbo. Now, mainly used for driving around the streets. And we're getting about 30 miles per gallon. It's a bit better on a run, but 30 miles per gallon in a brand new diesel for me is not really acceptable or good enough. I know you're never going to get the figures that they produce in the brochures. Those kind of figures you'd only ever see, in a lavatory. But who drives in a lavatory? So the 30 mpg in this car is a big minus. It's a big thumbs down. I've driven cars which are 10 years older than the diesel 2-litre cars, and knocking around the streets you're getting sort of high 40s, low 50s. So, and that was a big saloon car. So why this needs to be so poor, I don't know. It might have something to do with the fact that it's an automatic, but it shouldn't have too much of a detrimental effect. So that's the fourth thing I don't like about it. And the final thing, the fifth thing that I don't like about this car is the amount of options that you'll get as standard and the amount of options that you have to actually pay for. What you'll find is that in this BMW, and I'll use the cruise control as my main grudge bearer, the cruise control doesn't come as standard on this car now. For me, a car which is kind of in the sort of the luxury brand, such as this X1, BMW X1 F48, it's a luxury car. It's not an entry-level car. Cars like this should have cruise control as standard. There's no question about that in my mind. Cruise control is not a new thing. It's not a fancy gadget. It's something which we all sort of generally expect these days. Most Fiestas, and entry-level cars have cruise control. So why can't a mid-level SUV like this have cruise control? It's beyond me. The cost to have it installed, which we did get it installed, was an extra £250. Now that's daylight robbery. That's my opinion on it. I think you should be entitled to get cruise control as standard with these cars. So that's the fifth thing on my list. I don't like it. It's as simple as that. Overall, though, I do like the car. The things that I've spoke about, which ones of those would make me not buy the car? Possibly the seats. If I had the option again to get the seats, I would definitely get the different seats. I would certainly, well, I probably wouldn't buy it actually, for the sole reason that the MPG is so poor. 30 MPG in my book is just, it's not acceptable. It's not good enough. Everything else I can live with. I can live with the radio system, which you would eventually get used to. I can live with the cruise control. So, and I can live with these plastic parts, so long as they don't make too much noise when I'm actually driving around. So thanks for watching this Diagnostic World video. It is the 14th of December right now, 14th of December 2016. So I wish you all a very Merry Christmas. If you're watching this in the New Year, then obviously have a Happy New Year. And I wish you all the health and happiness for 2017. You probably can't see just ahead, but we're not far from the Newcastle airport, and there's a plane coming in there. You probably can't see it. It's going to disappear in the trees now. Yeah, so there we go. So thanks again, and if you do need any diagnostics for your BMW or whatever car you have got, by all means visit us at www.diagnostic-world.com. Click the link directly below this video. Alternatively, go onto Google and just search for Diagnostic World. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.